Right before I talk about morals, let me spend more time on the whole God is all loving nonsense. If God really cared, loved, and were kind to us, He would give us evidence that He exists. He wouldn't have the mentalities saying you better believe I exist for no reason and you better not have a rational mind or else I'm gonna send you to hell forever and burn there forever. That is not love at all. Get it in your heads. You have brains. Use them. Also, don't give me the whole we're in the New Testament, not the Old Testament bullshit. Explain Matthew 5:17 where Jesus said he would not change a word in the original scripture. So if stoning gay people to death, beating women to death if they were a virgin before marriage, stoning unruly children, genital mutilation, marrying your rapist, etc. was morally correct then it should be morally correct now in your stupid book. While we are forgetting all this, can God just physically show himself already if he's really a living being? And for real, not through Bible verses or biblical stories. Can you demonstrate your beliefs? Demonstrate why you think God is real. And not through the Bible. Whatever happened in the Bible doesn't count. If he showed himself to humanity in the Bible, that doesn't count. He needs to show himself to us, not through some stupid, ambiguous stories or verses, and most importantly, not through kids that visit him in heaven, or any natural formations of the earth, or any other shit like that. I shouldn't have to open up a fucking book to be convinced that he ever supposedly exists.
Atheists have no morals.
Coming from the same dipshits that use Bible verses to justify their disgusting actions, coming from the same idiots that only want to do good things because a God threatens them with hell, coming from the same idiots that demand us to follow their bullshit interpretation of the Bible, coming from the same dumb fucks that think they are good and will be eternally rewarded by being a hateful, bigoted asshole towards gay people and trans people. Coming from the same person that doesn't give a shit about being nice as long as they are getting an eternal reward. Don't you idiots get it? When I became atheist, it made me more moral. I don't do good deeds in the hopes of getting an eternal reward. I do good deeds for other people, such as practice charity, help the less fortunate, because I genuinely think that's the right thing to do.
Fight for your rights.
I mean, Finn from Star Wars The Force Awakens, an ex-stormtrooper from the movie, by the way, for those that haven't seen it. The antagonists are the stormtroopers for those that have been living under a rock, which is kind of odd, because I don't know how you would have a computer when you're around a rocky area. Unless if you bring it with you from your home. Okay, anyways, I'm getting off track. Even said himself that he's rescuing Poe Dameron, the Resistance prisoner, because it's the right thing to do.
Turn here. Listen carefully. If you do exactly as I say, I can get you out of here.
What?
This is a rescue. I'm helping you escape. Can you fly a TIE fighter?
You with the Resistance?
What? No. I'm breaking you out. Can you fly a TIE fighter?
I can fly anything. Why? Why are you helping me?
Because it's the right thing to do.
He didn't say that a Sky Daddy told him to do it, which leaves another reason why Star Wars is better than the Bible. Take notes from Finn. I donated money to a friend of mine who suffered a loss of her father's life. I donated money to the American Cancer Society, aka to a friend of mine. I donated money to a children's hospital when I buy games at GameStop. I donated money to Camp Arrowhead, aka a summer camp for special needs. My brother is a camper there, by the way. After a fire occurred there, donations were needed because of some supplies that were supposedly and assumably lost in the fire in that lodge or whatever it was. There's a huge difference between a reasonable assumption and an assumption pulled out of your ass. I didn't do all these things in the hopes of God rewarding me for all eternity. I did it because I feel that everyone should be treated well and equally, positively. I do these good deeds because I feel people should live life to the fullest. I do these things because I have a heart for other people. I do these things because it's the human thing to do. I expect nothing in return at all. I'm not sure if I said this in my video where I said I was now 20, but I even said, sorry for my little stutter there, but I even said that if I don't get a gift, a phone call, a card, hell, if I don't even get a Facebook post, I'm just like, whatever. This isn't a life rehearsal. You'd think I'd go around treating the country and my friends like it's anarchy. But no, that's not the case whatsoever, at all. My morality got so much better ever since I became an atheist, not to mention I practiced charity much more than ever, might I add, ever since I became an atheist. I don't need religion to tell me to be good when I know I'm a decent person. If God is going to send me to hell, even if I do good deeds, then he's not worth worshipping in the first place. Kind of like how Hitler didn't care how good or kind-hearted the Jews were. He'd still kill them. Like how God would still send me to hell if I was atheist or just not a Christian male. I don't need a book full of bullfuckery to tell me to judge someone or diss someone for being different than me. I am free to accept LGBT people and several other people that are harshly judged as they are. Some people say crime is wrong because they would burn in hell as a punishment. I say it's wrong, period, because it destructs the world. I think slavery, rape, killing, pedophilia, child abuse, animal abuse, homophobia, racism, and sexism, etc., is always wrong, period. Even if there is no heaven nor hell. And just like that, I am more moral than your God. And I'm more moral than every single person that opposes LGBT people. And by the way, I'm not saying all atheists are good. I even met some jerk atheists, and I'm not saying all religious people are bad. I'm even friends with a lot of religious people, might I add, and no surprisingly. But if you are doing all these good things while also knowing that no one in the sky is watching you do that stuff, that's the more moral thing to do than some religious people claiming they're doing these things only because of God is threatening them with hell if they don't do it. Sorry if I sound arrogant, but I do generally believe that everyone deserves happiness. Well, except for terrorists, baby rapists, genocidal maniacs, serial rapists, serial killers, etc. And by the way, I'd be lying if I said I never met a single bad atheist. Hell, I even met an atheist that wished a genocide on Down syndrome people because they're holding back us. When in reality, it's the whole religious oppression and killings of people that have new ideas based on scientific evidence that's holding us back. See, you don't have to be religious in order to be in a fucking immoral idiot. Well, to be fair, he was calling himself a so-called realist when making these bullshit arguments in the comment section on a spread the word to end the word video. I was never involved in it, by the way, but I saw it and I was horribly disgusted. I don't know if it still exists, and I don't know if his account still exists, but I did see it with my own eyes. Also, doesn't it sound kind of fucked up that a kind-hearted atheist who donates to charity, all because he cares for other people and for the less fortunate than him, is going to burn in hell for all of eternity, while an evil genocidal maniac will pray for salvation and go to heaven? Does that sound fucked up to anyone at all? Does God enjoy punishing people? Have I admit I've done things that were wrong in the past? Of course. But the difference is I don't make people feel inferior when they are trying to change themselves. Another difference is that I don't have a massive ego to the point where I say that I'm always smart and never stupid no matter what I do or say. When I do or say stupid things, I try to change that so I'm not stupid like that in the future, such as apologizing and make sure I don't do it or say it again. However, actions speak louder than words do. You can't just say you're sorry and then just not progress. Therefore, there comes the big word with two syllables. Sorry for my stutter there again. Progress. No one is calling you stupid like you have a brain that doesn't know anything or can not do anything, period. And no one is summing up your entire character. We are talking within the context of your subject. Stop taking it out of context just to irrelevantly bring up random shit to try to prove you're smart. So tell me, you oh-so moral rightist Christians, if God said to you that genocide was morally okay, would you do it? No one needs to be part of a religion to be a good person. No one needs to worship God or Jesus to have a good personality or be a kind-hearted soul. If you can't tell right from wrong, you lack empathy, not religion. Simple as that.
Science will get you to hell.
I'm dead serious. Someone actually said that to me. You might as well destroy your computer, your phone, your heater, your electricity, your internet, your TV, and your car, etc., because all of that is science. This is comedy gold. Technically, that dipshit and every other Christian is going to hell anyway, since she's using science to write that idiotic comment. Okay, I should calm down right now. I don't think anything else needs to be said about this comment. I'm dying here. I can't believe people would be that stupid. But I will say this, with all the scientists in hell, it must be air conditioned now, and habitable, by might I add. So she does, I guess, have a point. But I will come around and say this, science explains so much of what we used to attribute to God. I mean, you can learn about how our world came to be. You can see how stars and planets are made. Thank you, oh yeah, and thank you Mimi, aka my grandmother on my dad's side, for taking me to the science museums. You can learn about the history of dinosaurs and fossil fuels. You can learn about the basics of evolution, and you can finally understand evolution too. You can learn about the ancestors of animals in evolution. You can learn about the natural cause of natural disaster rather than blaming these so-called sinners. The more I learn about science, physics, biology, chemistry, and reality, the less reason I have to believe in God.
You will go to hell if you don't repent.
So you're saying even if I treat people with kindness, donate to charity, care for my friends when they are feeling down, and when after they've lost a loved one, feeding the poor, helping the less fortunate, discouraging bullying, etc., I'm still gonna burn in hell for all eternity just because I don't believe in him? If that's the case, then God is more evil than Satan. Satan isn't real, but he seems like the nicer guy. Speaking of the devil, get it? Why is he considered a bad person if he's ever supposedly torturing bad people like Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, Adolf Hitler, Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, etc.? Doesn't that make Satan a good guy to you if he's doing these horrible things to people? And also, on the topic of Hitler and hell, let this sink into your minds for a second. If you think about it, at least the Jews wouldn't have to deal with Hitler and the Nazis in heaven. I would rather stay in hell where there's no bigotry, sexism, racism, pedophilia, etc., than live in a hell where there's a God that endorses and betrays all that shit in the Bible. At least all the heavy metal concerts would be in hell too. All my friends would be there too. And let this sink in for a bit.
But it's in my eyes. This whole world moves backwards. Peace and love inside that lies. Love today is not.
Even if heaven and hell existed, I'd prefer to go to hell instead. Because how can I enjoy heaven if someone I loved was burning in hell? What if your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, son, daughter, niece, nephew, uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, granduncle, grandaunt, best friend was burning in hell while you were in heaven? And even worse, what if my best friend Hair Metal Brony 1016 was burning in hell while I was in heaven? That doesn't sound like an eternal reward to me. That sounds like torture. The worst torture than hell itself, mind you. What's so special about heaven anyway? Because doing whatever activities up there over and over and over again doesn't sound like a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure the things that I and millions of, if not billions of people would want to do over and over again are probably the sort of things that are not even allowed in heaven in the first place. Not even racing, believe it or not. But at least my best friend Lane Chavis would be having fun seeing heavy metal concerts down there. I don't even know why I'm so concerned about going into heaven in the first place, because I wouldn't be going there anyway. There are some downsides to hell, though, like the anti-bronies are still gonna be around us. Also, let me just say this. You don't really love your God. You're just scared of him. You only go by what he says to avoid fictional damnation.
No scientists ever proven that being gay isn't a choice.
How much is the rent of the rock you live under? What the hell do you even watch on cable? Fox News? Cause I could make a laughing stock out of you for saying that moronic horse shit to me. I am proving convincing, logical, reasonable, and rational links to videos to the description down below. Stop watching Fox News and stop reading your precious Bible and wake up to reality, because science has proven every single thing you say wrong.
Atheists have killed more than any religion combined.
Surely you can't be serious. You do realize Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong did it in the name of their political ideology known as communism, right? They didn't do it in their so-called atheism. They didn't claim an imaginary sky daddy told them to slaughter millions upon millions of people. Not their so-called communism. Try again. This isn't me trying to justify anyone's murdering and killing whatsoever. So think before you take it out of context. Not a single person ever bombed themselves in the name of science nor atheism. By the way, the Nazis had Gottmit-Uns, or Gottmit-Uns, I don't know how to pronounce it, on their uniforms. That means God is with us if you translate it from German to English. Therefore, Hitler was Catholic. Or Christian. Correct me if I'm wrong.
But just because Hitler said he was Christian doesn't mean he's a Christian. Just like I was saying your car in the garage doesn't make you a car.
Get that shit out of here! Then that must mean Joseph Stalin wasn't an atheist since he said he was, right? God damn, you idiots do a piss poor job at rationalizing. So, if you still think that atheism has killed more than every religion combined, you're either a massive dumb fuck or you're too blindsided by your right-wing agenda, or fucking both.
You don't need proof for God, you just need faith. That's all. Sometimes science is needed.
Oh, really? But you need proof when you hear anything about real facts like evolution, the Big Bang, global warming, and homosexuality being natural. You just use the faith card whenever you want to believe something when you don't have a good reason to believe it. You basically told me you don't care whether or not it's a fact, you just believe what you want to believe. I am always going to trust science and put science before faith. I trust science far more than faith. Oh, and hey, look at my God tattoo.
But I don't see it. It's not on there.
Well, you don't have to. You just need faith to see it. Now you see how stupid you sound? Science has done far more research than any religious faith. Religious faith doesn't do any better than saying,
You just have to die. Wait till you die, and then you see. God will judge the world for same-sex marriage.
okay, let me fucking get this straight. God didn't judge us for the genocide and rape on the natives in America, as well as stealing their land 300 some odd years ago from them. God didn't judge us for the slavery of black people. God didn't judge us for the genocide committed by Hitler, Stalin, and Mao Zedong, etc. God didn't judge us for the terrorists committing 9/11. God didn't judge America for not taking care of the homeless, sick, dying, and hungry poor people. God didn't judge us for the millions upon millions of children being molested and raped in mosques and churches. But now God will judge us for same-sex marriage. Get that stupid fucking bullshit out of here! God. Damn. You officially have no right to call anyone stupid.
Saying you're born gay is like saying you're born racist.
Implying that homosexuality is hate? How much more flat-brained can you get? That's like comparing Adolf Hitler to Tara Strong. I've got a better analogy. Saying being gay is a choice is like saying you choose to have autism, a learning disability, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, or better yet, it's like saying you choose to be black, or you choose to be a human being, or that you choose to have, or that you choose your eye color. And last but not least, it's the same thing as saying being left-handed is a choice. If you're able to accept none of that is a choice, then I know you can accept that homosexuality is not a fucking choice, you moron. Can you provide any evidence that's not the goddamn Bible? The Bible doesn't say being gay is a choice. So don't hide behind your precious holy book. And don't give me the bullshit comparison with smoking to homosexuality. Homosexuality doesn't give you cancer. Homosexuality doesn't harm your lungs. Homosexuality doesn't make you cough. But AIDS, that only happens when gay people don't prioritize protection. That only happens when they have unprotected sex. Why do you care so much about sex more than love? There's a giant difference between sex and love. Why are you obsessed with what two dudes do in the bedroom? Gay people don't give a damn about how much sex they have. So what's with this nonsense you're spewing out? By the way, I've experienced straight people bragging about the sex they've had more than a single gay person ever has. Not a single gay person has ever bragged about how much dick he sucked or asses he rammed and all that other atrocious nonsense that I never wanted to hear from those straight people. I do not want to hear about your blowjobs. Fuck off. This goes for anyone, not just straight people. But except that gay people don't brag about it towards me. I'm not trying to demonize straight people either. This is even coming from a straight person, but seriously, shut up already. I'm not interested in hearing that shit. God damn. Besides, I could care less about sex at all. Porn in general is kind of... As I was saying, sorry that the iPhone randomly stopped recording. Porn in general is kind of disgusting too. That doesn't mean I want to stop people from doing it or watching it though. Oh, by the way, God works in mysterious ways. It's a euphemism for stop asking challenging questions. Before I end the video, I'd love to share this photo. And that's it for that video, guys. If you find any of other videos of mine besides this one interesting, feel free to subscribe. Space out, everyone.